hello friends, my fellow humans. It's day 5 here into January of the new year, 2024. It's probably going to be a crazy year. I don't mean personally, I mean everywhere. It's going to be interesting. But let's not overwhelm ourselves by thinking about massive things we cannot change. Let's take a little more stoic approach. Speaking of stoicism, one of the most, I would say, widely known teachings of sorts would be, maybe not always known in this manner or in these exact words, tend to the part of the garden that you can reach, I think is one way it's said. What that means is don't fret over things that you cannot control. And that's something that really meant something to me when I first came across it. I think I even almost rejected it because it hit me so deeply. There's a funny thing that I feel like if you reject something without hesitation, it's probably a sign that you should evaluate why it is that you reject it so immediately without adequate consideration, because there's probably something inside of you that sees an inadequacy in yourself that you are afraid of. Fear is the mind killer. Topic that I wanted to briefly touch on today, and that I set a reminder for myself in case I forget, because ideas come and they go. It's one tool that I found to be very helpful in the past few months of throwing a net to catch these ideas that come out there. So use something simple like the native notes app to whatever device you have, iPhone, Android, or just go old school with pen and paper. Capturing those ideas down that sound genius to you, whether or not they are genius, is a good way to find and evaluate what's going on in your subconscious, because that's usually what happens is these things bubble up from connecting dots that we don't even know are there, or that the connections are even taking place. What I wrote down was the aspect of challenges and struggles, and how we can take a different approach mentally towards those that would be more beneficial, more fruitful for ourselves to become the better person, better version of ourselves that I believe all strive to achieve in one way or another, whether or not we know it or acknowledge it. There is a seeking of how you can be better. Yes, there are terrible people out there that it doesn't seem like they're trying to be better, but the truth is, I think that even those people are having something within them that wants to bring out the best of them, but for whatever reason, they rebel against that. But the reason that this came to mind, and what I want to mention about it, is last night in the middle of the night, I woke up and I just had a sinus infection, and it's been bugging the heck out of me today. But I was driving back from the gym with my buddies. I had the thought, as I tend to do, of just one thing about my brain is that's always running algorithms of, what would someone think about me doing this or saying that? Oh, what would someone think if they saw these thoughts? And so I had the thought that, there was definitely a sinus infection. And then I was thinking, that's kind of cool that I do have more body awareness, basically from the challenges, the struggles in the past of having various colds, flus, sinus infections. Instead of looking at them as just plainly terrible times to get through, it was this weird appreciation for the times that I had gone through that, because I was so easily able to write it down as just, it's a sinus infection, like it sucks, but because of what I've gone through in the past, I know this, and I know that it will be over, and it seems kind of benign. Like, what is the purpose of knowing it if there's nothing you can do? But the thing is, there are things you can do. Drink a lot of water, get as much adequate rest as possible / what you need within your means, 7 to 9 hours. I think that the most important thing there too is also waking up in the right stage of sleep. That's why I try to wake up naturally and without an alarm, but that requires building a schedule that allows for that. There's things you can do. Drink water, depending on what the thing is, I took Zyrtec. Sometimes it helps with drying things out, which is ironic because one of the recommendations is to use a humidifier while you sleep when you have a sinus infection, and there's all sorts of reasons for that. These challenges that we come across, and if you're a living, breathing human being, you're going to run into challenges. That's literally why we're here, as far as I understand it. Won't get into religion, spirituality right now. I genuinely feel that one of the purposes, if not the purpose for us to be here on this planet, because this is probably the number one thing that, other than death and after death, that religions and cults and spiritual teachings try to address, is why are we here in the first place? Like, that's great if we're going to some fancy schmancy, everyone gets a mansion and everyone gets their own planet, whatever you want, everyone gets all the food they want, clothes, whatever you want, you have it after life. But why are we here in the first place? That still baffles my mind. I understand that we couldn't continue on and progress as a collective society if everyone was every day waking up like, oh my gosh, we're here. Whoa, this is crazy. But it is still pretty crazy. And we just walk around pretending like it's normal, Human beings just pop up on a planet, in a galaxy, in a universe. Maybe there's multiple universes, and it's just, why are we here? And my current belief, understanding, interpretation, whatever you want to say, of that question and the answer is something along the lines of almost like a reincarnation, but I'm not saying I believe in reincarnation. It intrigues me more than anything else, and it makes sense to me in a way that I cannot explain, that because we are, in my mind, undoubtedly limitless beings that inhabit these meat bodies. This is just my personal belief. Please don't take offense if it goes against what you say. Don't hate me because I believe this or think it right now. Maybe lean more towards this way. Because we are these limitless beings inhabiting these temporary meat bodies, the real purpose exists beyond just the meat body. And the meat body, I'm sorry if that's sounding weird, this human body, as well as all of the environment around us and everything that happens, the purpose exists in those challenges that we face as a human being, as a limited physical human being, especially thinking that we are limited physical beings when I think we're so much more. That starts to get a little bit crazy. We'll probably cut it off there, but yeah, don't look at challenges as, or bad times as, just something that absolutely sucks. Try to, if you can, look at it as, oh, thank you, universe. Thank you, God, whatever it is that you pray to or believe in. Thank you for this opportunity to improve myself in some way. Obviously, that's not easy. That's not the first thought that's going to come to your head, but it's not always about the first thought. It's about what you choose to do or act upon as far as thoughts are concerned afterwards. I think that's where we hold our power. Taking a step back to say, okay, I feel so crappy right now, but there's something I'm learning from this, even if I don't know. I should take this opportunity to try to just bring my best to the table today under these circumstances. You know, the fourth agreement of the four agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, I want to say, is to always do your best. And it's the last, well, there's a fifth agreement, but that's a whole nother book. But always do your best. What that means is your best in a given situation. Your best is not going to look the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to be the same from day to day or even from hour to hour. So all that matters is that you show up to whatever situation you're involved in, whether it's a party where you're supposed to have fun and just be cordial with other people and, I don't know, maybe get a little crazy, but, you know, be a good person around these other people that you're sharing this space with. Or if it's at work and you show up Monday, 9 a.m. and you're just at a monotonous job that maybe you don't like very much, just do your best. That's all it is. You might be tired from the night before. You might be hungry because you didn't prepare well for work. You don't have food, or maybe it's a crappy party and they don't have snacks. You can always try your best and do your best in whatever circumstance you're working with in this very moment. Let's try to do our best. Thank the universe for these challenges. Try to be a better human. That's all I got. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Day 6. Namaste, my friends.